Welcome to the show. Gather round, listen close. We got George, Brock, and J.A. bringing you the most NFL podcast. It's about to go down. Three amigos ready to run this town. Welcome to the Ball Studio, where the fun begins. George, Brock, and Jay talking NFL with their friends. So grab a drink, sit back, let's dive into the show. The Ball Studio, fam, we're ready to go. Let's go.
Vault Studio podcast championship round recap, joined always by JA and George, who never lets me finish an intro. And we have the super sub playoff Scotty back again. We heard the feedback. We love super sub Scotty on the playoffs.
So who's saying that?
I'm saying it.
No, shout out for the internal feedback.
It was an internal company decision.
That's the most important feedback.
I had to recluse myself because of our relationship.
Yeah.
Obviously. Complete
Clear bias.
It was a romantic bias.
It was awkward when you voted against it.
Yeah. The rules of conflict of interest are if they've been inside you can't vote.
Romantic bias.
Damn.
I didn't make the rules,
Secrets
but they
out.
are the rules.
Before we get too far into it, make sure you jump onto the YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music. Make sure you like and subscribe on all of us. Link in bio for the last remaining tickets of the Sporting Globe. There's not many left. No, I'd say there's at least less than 20 left. So if you have anywhere you want to go, Chernobyl Park Sporting Globe is going to be the place to be. QB comp in the morning as well. So you can come try and beat the quartermanager's QB, Marcel.
That's not going to happen.
He lost one game last year to his brother. That's it. That's the only person he lost to.
Yep.
So come try and take his money. I don't think he's giving away money, but you won't take it anyway. Make sure you get
Come donate.
Yeah, come donate.
Nice.
I'll put $50 down if someone comes and beats him. I'll give you $50 for the
Also, you'll be starting with the Rangers if you beat him.
yeah. Also, it'll be a heavy. I'll claim it back on tax for the recruitment cause for the Rangers.
Solid.
Yeah.
Now that I'm clear,
You're clear.
I'm a free man.
Free JA. Free my boy. Let's get stuck into it.
I thought we were going to go a little bit of Elon there, but
Shout out to Elon.
He's
by
just
the way.
throwing it. No.
wrong podcast. Sorry, boys. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
George,
Maybe.
Let's get stuck into it. Commanders, Eagles. Commanders 23 to Eagles 55. Everyone just mute your mics. Let George talk. Let George cook.
Hey, it's your team. You get the floor. That's the rules.
Just give me 30 seconds,
Okay.
please. I just want to say one thing. To all the haters, to all the doubters, to all the naysayers, and all the shit talkers, you can all choke on a dozen donkey dicks. I'll see you in the Super Bowl.
No, that's very fair. It's very fair. And
Because there's no one has said, no one's got and it's not just here, the media, the narrative, everywhere. Nobody has given the flowers to the Eagles this year. Nobody. It's all been, oh yeah, I guess they're good. Oh yeah, I guess we have to say
it's been
this.
a tough
Oh, you have
playoff
to do
run
that.
for them.
Real tough playoff run.
Had to beat some real tough opposition.
Real
You
big
beat-
NFC
you-
team.
23rd
Just
ranked
like-
strength of
Just like
schedule.
any team, you beat whoever's in front of you.
100%. And
And we've beaten everyone, and we've beaten everyone convincingly.
Yeah.
And we left absolutely no doubt
no.
on the weekend, on Monday morning our time. We basically rammed it down their throats from the opening drive. And as far as I'm concerned, I know you boys have got your thoughts, and I'll just kick it off the top. As far as I'm concerned, the game was over after the first Philly drive when we scored a touchdown.
It was over when
that.
they completed
off
the
that
fake
run.
punt.
Oh,
Yeah,
that came later. That came later. But as far as I'm concerned, the opening drive by the Redskins was a 20-play drive with four down, four first down. Thank you, Scott. Four third down conversions, three fourth downs to kick a field goal. And I remember I said in our chat that was it. That was their best punch. That was it. And we took their best punch, and then literally on our first offensive play, 80 yards for a touchdown, game over. That was it.
This was the Washington I thought we'd get last week against the Lions.
Yeah.
This is the Washington I thought we'd get last. And then they played a pretty much perfect game against the Lions, and that's why they were able to win that game. In this game, and it's not a Jaden Daniels slide. I think he actually played quite well.
I think he was good.
He threw an interception late when he was just trying. He was just trying to throw touchdowns at that point. Like it was well.
They were down
It was outside the game plan.
Yeah.
they were down by 3 scores at that point.
Yeah,
What's
he
supposed
still
to do?
he just put one up in the air to try and get a touchdown. And who's the rookie?
Quinyon Mitchell.
Quinyon Mitchell made a good play on it,
Yep.
and he's been a good player, been a great.
He's
pickup.
been fantastic all year.
And I just think that the magic kind of ran out. They had 3 turnovers. Other than that interception, they had 3 turnovers that were no fault of Jaden Daniels. Eckler
Fumbles, yeah.
fumbling when he just should have stayed down.
Old tiny hands, Eckler.
Yeah, he should have stayed down. The kickoff return fumble is.
Oh, yeah.
You can't have turnovers on special teams. You
No.
just can't. It's muffed punts, fumbles on kick returns. You can't have them.
There's turnovers in your territory,
Yep.
which crucify you.
Yep.
On your own 20, crucify you.
Yep.
You can have an arm punt or something like that near midfield. Still a bad turnover.
Yeah, like a turnover on downs at your own 40 or something.
Yeah,
their 40
exactly.
or something.
Yeah.
I know what
Still,
you're saying,
still a turnover, but it doesn't determine the game. Like that hit on Will Shipley just shook the ball out straight away, and
Yep.
that was game. I mean, it was probably game before that, but that was like stamp it.
Yeah, and 21. Again, credit to the Eagles. They didn't just turn the ball over. They scored a touchdown on every one of those turnovers.
Yep.
You take 21 points off the Eagles, and the game's a lot closer. I still think the Eagles win, but the game's a lot closer. And we all knew Washington had to be perfect. I'm pissed off with myself because they kind of sucked me in last week. I thought they'd put up a better fight. And in fairness to them, they did fight. Like, they fought to the end. They weren't... I don't think the scoreline probably looks more embarrassing than the game, if that makes sense.
No,
I just think the
I
Eagles
it wasn't
were
that
much better.
competitive.
Well, they scored once in the second half.
Yeah, and that was it. The Eagles just
That was it.
they just Ku-Klux clamped
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And I said, if we look at the story of this Eagles season, will come down to them making great free agent signing in Saquon Barkley. I would say
And Bourne.
and Zach Bourne.
Yeah.
And like they're probably 2 of the best free agent signings ever. Like when you talk about Saquon then rushing for 2,000 yards and Zach Bourne being a first team All Pro.
Or first team All Pro.
Yeah, it's
that's
hard
right.
to argue. And a genuine first team All Pro. Like, do you know how hard it is to get people to vote for you when you're breaking out that first year? Especially on a talented team. It's really hard to have people look at you and be like, yeah, this dude's a baller.
Your tape has to stand out. Like,
100%.
It has to slap you in the face.
And it has all year, and it did in this game. He
Yep.
was all over the field as he
Agreed.
always is. And then Saquon, and then also great rookie drafting. Like Cooper DeJean and Mitchell changed this defense because they were
And
they were
last year
old.
as well with Carter. Carter slipped, and then he was
Carter?
gone. Oh, we'll
Yep.
just get the talent.
Yeah, and again, they got Carter from making a great trade and getting up in the draft. Who did they
Yep.
trade with again? I can't remember
Oh,
now.
yeah, I know.
But they got it.
No,
They
didn't
got-
they have the New Orleans pick, and they got it from that?
Yeah, but that was part of that was something. That was
Who
like
did
a trade
they
or something.
trade?
I
Can't even remember.
off the top of my
And then
head.
again, a few years ago, trading for AJ Brown, everyone was like, "Oh, it was a good trade by the Titans." That was an atrocious trade by the Titans. Atrocious trade by the Titans. And that's the story of the Eagles team this year, and that's why they're in a Super Bowl. And I'm giving full credit to Howie. Howie's the GOAT. That guy is the best GM in football.
He's
Everything
easily
he
the best
touches
GM in
turns to
football.
gold.
Oh, Joanne Dotson.
Yeah, they go and get Johan Dotson
Yeah.
from Washington.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, not everything goes
Well,
to
he still
gold.
played pretty well this year. I think
Yeah,
he
he's played
scored
pretty
3.
well.
Like he's the 4th receiver.
Yeah.
Like, or maybe the 5th behind.
Yeah.
Goddard. And who's the young? You have a decent rookie receiver as well. I mean, they've made great off-season moves that all paid off for him, and that's what needs to happen if you want to be a Super Bowl team. You need
Correct.
to make the right move.
I think this game for me, like, I wouldn't say that an asterisk is probably too strong, but obviously there was the other things with Philly, you know, the soft schedule coming into the playoffs, who they beat and how they beat them. This was the first complete game
Yep.
Mhm, yeah. I agree
across the
with
board, complete. And that's what we've been waiting for. It's like, okay, yeah, you've had the defense and you've had the running game, but we have question marks. Now, if on current form, there's no question marks.
Hurts-
They are complete.
Hurts had a flawless game.
that. I will eat humble crow on that. He's been awful in the playoffs. He was very good. What did I say to you? What's the one thing he doesn't do? Turn the fucking
Yeah,
ball
he doesn't.
over.
He just
He
doesn't.
doesn't make mistakes.
He hasn't thrown a turnover in the playoffs since 2020 when we lost to Tom Brady's Bucks.
Oh, in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
No, in the divisional
in the
round.
wild card. In the wild card.
Oh, was it
round.
wild card?
Wild card, yeah.
So I mean, like I said,
He
and
hasn't thrown an interception since then.
I'll give credit when credit's due. Like
He had a
he
flawless
played
game.
really well. Now, are Washington a great defense? No, but they ran the shit out of the ball. Their O line, as I've said for the past month, it is O line porn for me. I could watch that.
Speaking
All
on the
day
O
long.
line,
The center.
Jurgens didn't
Jurgens was a laid out and then he came back in at halftime. Dickerson had to sub in at center and we had a rookie playing left guard.
Yep.
Who I've forgotten his name, apologies. And then Dickerson got banged up, his knee got banged up. And so Jurgens is like, oh well fuck, I have to go back, I have to go in.
Yeah.
And he went in with back spasms and smashed it. Like
Yeah, and
I
just
love
the
it.
fact that Dickerson like minutes before the game, be like, "Hey, Jurgen's no good." It's like, "Yeah, I'll play. I'll
slide
move
in
the
play
center.
center,
No
yeah.
stress." And
Yeah.
it looked no different. No
Yeah,
different.
that's kind of my point.
And
yeah.
the offensive line looks again another free agent signing. Mackay Becton
Yeah.
Yeah, Becton's
was
been
dead
huge.
in the water. No one wanted him. He was like, "Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
take it
bus.
for a year."
He was a top 10 bus.
Yeah, well, his rookie year was actually outstanding at the Jets, and
Yeah.
then he just kept getting hurt. And
Mm.
then
And then the Jets effect.
there
Yeah.
was like again, it seems to be a common thing when we talk about the Jets.
Was he the
Didn't really
Panthers
wanna
before,
play.
or did he go from
No,
the Jets straight to?
No, he went straight to
Okay.
the Eagles. And so he had in his rookie year, he was with Tristan Wirfs, Andrew Thomas,
Yeah.
and him. And there was one other guy I always forget. And Becton, after his rookie year, everyone was like, "This guy's like the unicorn.
Mm.
He's huge, he's strong." And they put him on and said, "Come play right guard, get next to Lane Johnson." And
Yeah.
this is the whole point, right? You have those bookend guys, and the Eagles had two of the best tackles in the league this year. Probably the best in the league. Arguably, if you want to argue it, the second best. Whatever you want to argue.
Yeah, top two.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Top two, for sure.
Definitely top two. Yeah.
two of the best, and that makes when you have those bookend guys, it make because you're not signing Mackay Becton to come play right tackle.
No.
You're
Yeah.
signing him to come play right guard
Yeah.
next to Lane Johnson, who is going to give you all the information you want.
Yeah.
And again, we got to get around our boy Jordan Mailata.
Yeah.
It's an Australian guy who never played football 5 years ago, and he's now one of the best left tackles in
He's-
football.
Easily top two.
It's a story that doesn't get talked about enough with how hard it is.
Where's the
to play
Australian media
offensive-
talking about it? They
Nah,
should be.
he's got a bit now. He's on NFL Australia a lot.
Yeah,
now.
but what you're saying is right. To play left tackle is the hardest fucking position on.
there's a
on
reason
line.
they get paid the most money outside of
Yeah.
quarterback.
That's right.
There's a reason. It's the second most important position in football.
It is.
Ask Joe Theismann.
Yeah.
That's the reason they
Yep.
became, as the start of the blind side says, the reason left tackles get paid a lot of money was because Joe Theismann got snapped in half.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are that, the blind side is that important.
Shout out to
So-
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Well,
in
yeah.
fairness, no one could block Lawrence
Yeah.
Taylor anyway.
True.
Yeah, you could have had the best left tackle of all time, and Lawrence Taylor still would have killed Joe Theismann. But
Also true.
yeah, as I said, on Washington, we like to talk a little bit about moving forward, and we talked about this last week. Washington's window is wide open.
Absolutely wide open.
They are a largely, it's similar to the Chargers in the AFC. They're a largely untalented team. They don't have a ton of talent. McLaurin's good. Like they got through this season with Eckler. Again, another good free agent signing.
Robinson's good.
Robinson's good, but he's not. Would you say he's top 10? I'd say he's nowhere near it.
He'd be close.
On his day, he's top 15 for sure.
He'd be close.
Like he's a starter.
Yeah.
But like he's not, you think of like the Henrys, the Saquons, all those sorts of guys. He's not even
He's
in
not
that
in the top tier,
conversation.
definitely, but he might be in the top 10
So what they've got,
Yeah.
what Washington have got, is all positive. They got their quarterback, they got their coach,
Yep.
they got their OC, and they've got like $100 million in cap space.
Yeah, they can load up now because they've got Jaden Daniels
They
for
need about
3 years on a rookie
3
deal.
or 4 good free agents,
Yep.
and 3 or 4 good draft pieces, and they'll be there again.
Yeah, I think so too. Theoretically, yes, I agree. In practicality, and I'm going to say this now, I don't think they make the playoffs next year.
Yeah, I agree.
I won't pick them to make the playoffs. I think they got being the fourth seed and the fourth ranked seed in your
Yeah, the fourth
division.
division in division, yeah.
You get an easier. They beat a lot of easy teams, but then the playoffs changed my mind. As I said, I didn't think they'd beat the Bucks. I certainly didn't think they'd beat the Lions.
Well, the Bucks came down to a last minute field goal.
Mm.
Like, the glass like half empty sort
Yeah.
of thing. They did just maybe right place, right time
Yep.
with the Lions and stuff. But
the Lions was they played a perfect game, and the Lions played maybe the worst they could
Coughed it up.
possibly.
They coughed it up 5 times.
but all the
Yeah.
pressure was on them, and now you see what pressure does.
100%. 100%.
So-
So, and Washington
Look,
fans
still good spot to
enjoy
be
it.
in, yeah.
Like I said, Washington fans, they had Schneider ruining their lives for 30 years. or
And then
whatever it
coming
was.
back and still ruining it.
And then they finally got RG3.
Yep.
And then everyone's like, oh, but they've finally got rookie of the year, made playoffs that first year, destroyed his knee and was never the same guy. That's no one's fault. That's
Yep.
just bad luck. Well, maybe they shouldn't have played him when his knee was torn up, but that's life. But
So Washington next year play the Cowboys, Eagles, Giants.
Oh, what a
So
shock.
So this is their home. They play Seahawks, Bears, Broncos, Raiders, Lions. Their away is not including the 3 division. Green Bay, Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings.
That's a
Falcons,
very tough
Dolphins.
schedule.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a very tough schedule.
it's tough.
They're not.
And that's what I mean. I won't pick them to make the playoffs because I think they suck. I'll pick them to make the playoffs because I don't think they're going to win 12 games against that opposition. They'll probably win 8.
But saying that's going to be tough for that whole division of the NFC East.
Yeah.
Because you have to play the NFC North next year
And the
Yes.
NFC West.
and the AFC West.
West.
NFC West.
The North, the NFC North, and the AFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get split games, and the NFC West is their split. So,
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
so
And
one will play 1 and 2, 2 will play 2 and 1, 3 will play 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Usually,
Yep.
Rookie quarterbacks that have a really outstanding rookie season, they normally have that sophomore slump.
Well, there's
as
film
well.
on them,
Stroud.
the tendencies.
So
Like, let's be honest. If Stroud was in 6 other divisions this year, they probably don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're pushing for a wild card. Like they're not a division winner. Like that division was atrocious. So it does happen. But like no, I said, shout out to Washington. Enjoy it, Washington fans. So when they beat the Lions, there were people literally crying. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a bit much, but that's the emotion that sport brings on when you've followed a team for your entire life.
And they've sucked for a long time.
yeah, 100%.
They've sucked. Like,
100%.
Yeah.
Can,
so
Haven't had a playoff win since 05.
have you got a couple of clips you want to play, Georgie boy?
I've got 2 things I want to speak on,
Yeah, okay.
and then we can move on, and then I won't talk for the rest of the podcast. It's fine.
No, you need to talk because it'll get too cold in here if you're not sucking the air out of the room. We've got Brock sucking the funny out of the room. You sucking the air out of the room.
I hope what this win has done
Mhm.
is what I want out of this win is I want people to start admitting a few things, because I think people are just not admitting things purely because it's the Eagles.
Do you want your Jalen Hurts compared to Patrick Mahomes?
Not just yet. First, I want to talk about Sirianni. All right,
Mm.
because a lot of people just want to hate on Sirianni just because it's him.
He's a
Just because
twat.
it's him.
He's a fuckhead.
He's a twat.
Well, look, you can call him any name that you want.
were
Been
calling,
pretty-
you were saying
He's
that
been pretty flawless for the last 3 months.
Thank
exactly.
you. That's what I was gonna say.
Since the Browns,
That's what I was
incident.
going to say.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I was going to say. The last
I
3 or
agree.
4 months, he's been basically flawless. He's done nothing wrong.
Couldn't
He's
agree
led his
more.
team. He's done all the right things, said the right things,
Yep.
managed his team, managed his stars. No fights, no breakouts, no fucking meltdowns.
We almost had the meltdown with Carter.
Yeah,
there
but
was a fight on the
But that happens.
That's a fight on
that,
the sideline.
that would
happens
happen
all the time.
almost.
Yeah.
on every
But
every
once a
NFL
week.
A
sideline.
Texan special team player almost knocked out their coach.
Yeah,
like it,
exactly.
It happens.
And
yeah.
say what you want about him, call him whatever name you want,
Mm.
but what the guy does, he fucking wins. He wins football games.
Can I have a quick rebuttal on this? The only
Mm.
rebuttal I'm going to have.
Let me finish, and then you
Okay,
can rebut.
Sure.
Since he came into the league, since he became the head coach in 2021, he's got the second best winning percentage in the
Yep.
NFL.
That's fair.
So that's in five seasons.
Yep.
Second to Andy Reid, who was going to play in the Super Bowl for the second time. The one he's actually tied with
Harbaugh?
with Sean McDermott.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Yep.
So
yeah.
you know,
100%.
everyone talks about McDermott and Reid as high level coaches.
And what's the difference between the Bills and the Chiefs to the Eagles?
Button up organizations.
No. The Eagles don't have. No matter what you think of Jalen Hurts, the Eagles don't have Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes.
No, they don't.
It's and this is my slight rebuttal to it is, I think this season with Callan Moore and Vic Fangio, again, great signings. He brought in guys that could do the job at a really high level. And then back when they went to the Super Bowl last time, who were their coordinators then? Steichen
Gannon.
and Gannon.
Yep.
And then they
Both
both went and got head
coaches.
coaches' jobs.
Correct.
And
Correct.
have done a fairly good job with
Yep.
less talented teams.
Yes.
I don't think they're bad coaches in the slight.
No,
If-
they're not bad coaches at all.
if Steichen got fired from the Colts, he would be back as a OC in
For
a da-
20
He'd be
teams.
unemployed for an hour.
yeah.
Yep.
He would have people.
Yeah, shit.
He would have people sitting there waiting for Schefter to tweet, "Hey, he's been fired," so they could call him and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
bro, you're going to be there."
They're calling his agent immediately.
and
Yeah.
Gannon the same.
Yep.
So
Yep.
and this is I'm not saying Sirianni. I said I admitted weeks ago. I've actually come around.
Say
on
what you want about
Sirianni.
him. The
He's-
guy
he's been-
wins.
He's been buttoned up, and he's been a really one of the key things. AJ Brown there was a play on the weekend where it could have been PI, it wasn't called, and AJ Brown was like on the ground, and he kind of had a sook, and Sirianni ran on the field and like helped him up,
Yep.
and like pulled him in close, and I don't know what he said, but I imagine it was, "Hey, don't worry."
Yeah.
Like that is a character arc I can get on, and then AJ Brown instantly looked in the eyes, and he just nodded and ran back to the huddle.
Back on his
That's
back.
a coach
Yeah.
that has the respect of players. That's
Yes.
what he lost last year.
Yes, he did.
And he's done a great, and whether it's from hiring good coordinators or whatever it is, he's gained it back. And that is something that I can reward. That's an outstanding
and that's
move.
all I want.
Dead in the
people-
water.
That's all I want people to start admitting.
Yeah.
That, yeah, he's
Couldn't
not
agree more.
he's not a genius like Andy Reid.
No.
But he is a good football coach.
I think he is now. I think
Yes.
this second half of the season has made, since the Browns game,
Yeah.
has made me
That-
go,
That was like week 3 or 4.
yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was the first third of the season.
Yeah.
And I said, but since then, been shut
So-
up,
and I know that
answer
people-
questions,
people-
not being a
it's
dick,
just
not
like
being a smart
pastime.
ass.
People just want to hang shit on Sirianni just because it's Sirianni. But it's like,
Well, hold on. He's earned a lot of. He did
He has.
earn a lot of the
he
shit.
has.
And now he's got rid of it, in my opinion. I know a lot of people will hang on to that shit forever because they're losers.
and that's
but-
okay.
Well,
in my
they need
opinion,
talking
he-
points.
Yeah, he's earned that right to now be like, shut
Yeah.
up about him.
I agree.
Yeah.
And we had a chat off air about like what's Sirianni's pass mark, and it was like if you lost in the first round, probably going to get fired.
He was set up to be the scapegoat.
Yeah,
He
in
was,
the
100%.
divisional round, depending on how they lost.
Yep.
Now that he's won a championship game and he's in Super Bowl, he's untouchable.
Yeah,
He's
I think
untouchable.
so. There's no
They-
chance he's not
They
coming
can
back.
get
next year.
pumped by 35 points, and I still think he's untouchable.
Agreed. Agreed. He's made a Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
how can
Well,
you possibly
yeah.
fire him?
People just, I don't think people really respect and understand how hard it is.
Yeah.
How hard it
Well,
is.
we've
to
been
make
on
a
this
Super Bowl.
show and we've sort of said, oh, you know, like the Eagles got to like they got a little bit lucky. This fumble went this way, that fumble went that way, all that sort of stuff. That's exactly what you need. That's how thin the margins are
Mhm.
in playoff football.
You
That
need the
one bounce of the ball.
50-50s. You need the 50-50s to go your way. If
Honestly,
you want to win a
Scott,
Super
well
Bowl.
said. Well said.
That's just how thin the margins are. The scheming is absolutely perfect. Both teams know the weaknesses. They try to lure you into
Yep.
tendencies. They try to lure you into weaknesses. And there's just a huge chess match going on. And one bounce of a ball can determine everything.
Agreed.
100%
So
agree.
you need it. You need the luck.
So the second thing I want to speak about
Mhm.
is I want to speak about Jalen Hurts
Okay.
because everybody wants to shit on Jalen Hurts that he's this, that he's that he can't do this, that he can't do that. He can't throw the ball. He had a flawless performance on the weekend. And one thing I want to speak about Hurts is that, like him, anyone that hates him, I don't know why they hate him. Like, he's just a humble, hardworking, well-spoken guy. He tries his fucking guts out every play. Yeah, is he the most talented guy in the world?
No.
No. He gives 110% effort every single fucking down. I've never, ever, ever seen him phone it in, ever.
Yep.
So if you want to hate on him, all you're doing is you're outing yourself as a hater.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
all
agree.
you're doing. Because he's one of the most likable guys in the NFL. And he's a born leader. And the most important thing is he's a fucking winner. Wherever he
Yeah.
goes, he just wins.
So
In his first 5 seasons, he's made 2 Super Bowls. That, in and of itself, for a guy who doesn't have the level of talent of some other guys like Burrow or Allen or whatever, that's a fucking unbelievable accomplishment.
but is that a team talent? Like at some point, and we had this discussion before the show.
There's plenty of
We'll talk
good
about your
quarter-
graphic on the board
I
first.
just-
yeah.
and the reason I put this graphic up is not to say that Hurts is as good as Patrick Mahomes.
Jump onto the
He's-
video on YouTube
He's
or Spotify
clearly
to check out
not.
the
He's
graphic.
clearly not as good as Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have.
That's fair.
Mahomes has got more talent in his left pinky finger than what Hurts has got in his whole fucking body. But what I'm trying to say is that by the numbers, right, it's comparable. Their level of play, it's comparable. All I'm trying to say is that stop giving Jalen Hurts shit. Put some respect on the guy's name. The guy
Yeah.
is a good football player.
Okay, but we're comparing him to Patrick Mahomes right now. You know what Patrick Mahomes has right now in those last 3 seasons?
He's got 2 rings and he's going for a 3rd.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I agree. So yeah, Mahomes is a better quarterback. I'm not saying he's not.
And I said
Mahomes
this before.
is a better
you
quarterback.
take away Jalen Hurts 40 push touchdowns,
Yeah,
which
but
it's I'm not
that's an
saying it's
unfair
not
statement. It's
No,
not a
but
fair statement.
the push.
Well,
Can
it
be
is,
run
because
at Philly.
Mahomes-
It can be run by anyone.
It is an unfair
So
statement
why? Okay, that's fine. So why doesn't everyone run it then?
Well,
because
'cause-
no one wants Mahomes to snap his neck.
Yeah, this is my whole point. We've talked about this before. When, as you said last week, when Jalen Hurts loses playoff games, it's when he has to throw for more than 150 yards. Now, I think he had more than 150 yards in this game.
He
Just
was
like
for
the-
250.
250. Yeah.
250. And again, I'll admit, he was perfect.
It was a complete game. I said it before. It was
100%.
complete.
He rushed well. He evaded the pressure. There was one play where the Washington DN literally hit his arm with the ball, and I don't know how it didn't bounce out, but no, he doesn't turn the ball over
Yeah.
anymore, and that is half the battle in the NFL. If you don't turn the ball over,
Especially
you're going
in
to
the
win a lot
playoffs.
more games than you lose.
Especially in the playoffs.
What the podcast last week was literally called turnovers,
Mm.
because every team that loses, and Washington again,
And-
4 turnovers to 0,
Both winners had 0 turnovers.
100%, and that's what and that's
No,
what
Mahomes,
had one.
Mahomes had the fumble.
Mahomes had 2.
Yeah. He had the fumble.
No, just one.
He had 2 fumbles.
No, he only lost one though. Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
He
Maybe I'm
lost
wrong.
two
We'll talk about
fumbles.
that next. But yeah,
You're
Oh,
taking a piss.
All I'm trying to say is the kid's a good quarterback. Stop hanging shit on him because all you're doing is you're outing yourself as a hater. That's it. That's all.
I
you're doing.
just think, and we had the discussion before, I think he's in the same vein as Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Sam Darnold this season, when guys, and it's the old saying is, are you the tractor or the trailer?
Mhm.
He's not the tractor, Jalen Hurts. He's not pulling the team. He's part of the trailer.
He's part of the trailer.
The,
sure.
the
Yeah.
Eagles' tractor is Saquon
O-line.
Barkley and the O-line.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
That's their
fair.
tractor.
Yeah, I
they're,
agree.
they're pulling that offense. So if you'd swapped this season Brock Purdy and put him on the Eagles and put Jalen Hurts on the 49ers with all their injuries and losing CMC and all that sort of stuff, I think you get both the same result.
Agreed.
I think they're very and same with Dak Prescott. You throw Dak Prescott on the Eagles, he's probably really good too.
I agree.
And that's not a slide at Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying I don't hate Jalen Hurts. I actually quite like him. He speaks very well. He's clearly a good leader. He's had nothing but history of being just a good person.
An upstanding person. yeah.
100%. I have no issue with him. My problem, and this isn't you, I'm directing this.
Yeah.
There are
Doesn't matter.
people that claim, and Eagles fans who, as we know, are insufferable.
Mhm.
A lot of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Not all of them. It's not all of them. It's not all of them.
I think the vast majority.
The vast
would be.
majority
Yeah.
is fair. And they
It's
try
the
and,
city, though. It's the 76ers. It's
It's
the
all
whole
the same.
lot. Yeah.
and they try and jam down your throat that he's an elite quarterback. He's not an elite
No,
quarterback.
he's not an elite quarterback.
He
no.
is a quarterback that's very good and has fallen into the perfect situation this season with coordinator and talent around him.
Yep.
And that is nothing to be ashamed of.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with
And
that.
the last Super Bowl run, he was probably the Super Bowl MVP.
If they win.
Yep.
Agreed. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
He was easily the best player on the day.
100% he
Yeah,
was.
he was.
No doubt about it. So
Easily.
I said, I have no
and
qualms.
he was the best player on the weekend by a mile. He was
Oh,
easily
I
our
think
best
so.
player
No, Saquon was.
Saquon was.
As you said, when was the game over?
after that first TD run.
And that
Yeah.
was
He ran for 3 himself. He passed for 1-2.
I said
he did.
No turnovers.
he was forced, but you take say Saquon Barkley, that first run they run gets hit in the backfield and gets hurt. You reckon they win? Maybe. It goes from the game was over
guaranteed win to 50-50.
100%.
Yeah, it does,
very,
it does.
very
I agree,
quickly.
I agree.
And that's the key of what Saquon is. And again,
I definitely think the key
No,
to our
just
team
like-
is the O-line and Saquon.
and that's
for sure.
credit to Howie and the way they've built this team.
I 100% agree.
and I can't
and
argue.
Hurts not turning the ball over as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
But yeah, if you're just talking on pure quarterbacking talent, he's probably in around 10.
I
10
reckon he's
10 to
somewhat-
15.
I reckon he's a 10 to 15
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah,
and
100%.
that's what
When
I've
he
been saying
does-
all
he
year.
does
with
the
your
job
Purdy's,
right.
Prescott's,
Yep.
those sorts of guys.
Yeah.
That's the sort of
He's
vein
not. He's not the guy that's going to sit in the pocket and throw for 350 yards and throw the
Yeah.
ball 40 times. That's not his gig.
No.
And it
And
never
there's
has been.
nothing wrong with that.
Well, clearly there isn't because we're going to a second Super Bowl in 3 years.
100%.
So we're
And
doing
it's said-
something right.
Credit when credit's due.
We're doing something right.
Now, do you want to play this clip? Or you're
Oh,
backing down?
no. I want to keep a couple of receipts from last week. Let's throw a
Which
couple of
one? Which
receipts.
one do you want
A
first?
couple of receipts from the
Play the 30-second one first. That's
couple of receipts from the preview show. And yeah, I've got the Eagles winning, and the fact that Brock doesn't have the Eagles winning gives me even more
Oh, they give you confidence?
solace
Hey.
because
I'm just
He
using your
can't-
words.
he can't pick games for shit, and he can't pick the Eagles for shit. Every time he's picked
Has he
against,
watched Red Cup in this year?
every time he's picked against us on the show, we've won. So, brother, keep going. Keep going. Right, I'm riding it all the way to the Super Bowl.
Clip that. Clip it.
I'm riding it all the way to the Super Bowl.
Clip that, producer Scotty.
Scotty, don't clip. Don't touch anything. All right.
You know what?
That's
I
very-
stand on that.
The next one is the best. Play
My
the-
Red Cup
and-
betting
and
form
it-
this year has been unreal.
No,
I'll save it for primetime Sunday nights.
just this next one, and then I'll shut up. Go.
Peace out, everyone.
Peace out.
Thank you.
I hope the Eagles lose on a call.
Do you want to know the funny thing about that clip?
And I
He said-
stand on that too.
he said it to me, he said, can you get that last clip? And I went, George, it might be too early to say this. It could still end on a bad call. But I was like, George, I can't find it. You didn't say it. I don't know what you're talking about.
and I only,
And he
you know,
goes,
when
go to the last 10 seconds up. I'm
I
like, oh,
only
shit,
heard it
there
today when I re-listened to it this
You
afternoon.
little cheeky start. It was very
Anything-
good.
Any response to that, Brocky? Or
I stand on business. I stand on business.
even
I
after
might- I
You're
might-
that guy that's standing on the Titanic when it's sinking.
yeah, I'm playing the violin. I'm running this shit fucking down.
even after we drub Washington and put up 55 points, which is the highest score ever in an NFC Championship
Is it
game,
really?
by the way. Yep.
Yeah.
Highest score ever. You still don't want to backtrack from that?
Stand on it. You had 3 junk time TDs. Three of Hertz's touchdowns were for 11 yards. So two of them were tush pushes from the 1 yard line,
Yeah.
and
Shout
one
out
of
to
them,
Frankie Louvu.
and one of them was a 9-yard rush.
Oh, are we going to talk about that?
That
Sorry.
was so funny.
Do you want
Fuck
to
me.
talk about Tush Push? Go ahead,
Can I just want to ask you
I just
one
think
question.
it's absolute bullshit. Oh, yeah, go to
I
George
want
first.
one question for you.
please.
If that situation had arisen, and it was in the Super Bowl, and it's the Eagles trying to stop Mahomes sneaking, and the refs came out and said, "We're going to award them a touchdown if you basically don't stop causing penalties." What would your response be?
Well, I didn't know that was a rule.
It definitely is a rule. It is a
I
rule.
didn't, I
Always
didn't
been a
know.
rule, yeah.
I didn't even know when he said it, because you said it in the chat. It's like, what the fuck? They should just keep doing that. You said that in our
Well,
chat.
the only way to stop it is jumping the snap.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Jump
It
the
is.
snap for an RKO.
And my argument is,
it's on the way through.
and saying to them, you can't try and jump the snap anymore, is the same thing as saying to the Eagles,
How many times did
you
they?
can't hard count. You
Yeah.
have to snap it when you say
How
hard.
many times did they jump offside at that
3.
point? Yeah, okay.
But it was also the only way they could stop it. And then when they didn't try and jump it because they were told,
So is this,
not allowed to, yeah.
is this an argument against a tush push or against
my
against
argument
jumping
against the
offsides,
tush
or what is
push,
it?
my argument against the tush push is probably more my vendetta against the refs, because we all know my feeling and how incompetent they are. They are, and we'll talk about them in the next game more.
Of
But
all
they are
levels.
sheerly incompetent. I don't understand what goes through their head when a billion people can watch something and go, that ball hit the ground, and they watch it and go, no, we're going to go with the call on the field. Either way, that's for the next game. But my argument is the tush push annoys me because the defense by rule aren't allowed to push their defensive lineman in the back.
And you're not allowed to jump the line and make contact.
Yes. So the offense can. All I'm saying is they don't have to say you can't run the tush push. They just need to either say to the defense, you guys, because if you get 2 guys in the A gap and then get 2 guys behind them
Pushing
and go
through,
as the
yeah.
ball snaps and we're all going to hit each other,
Mm.
one, that's dangerous as all hell. People are going to get hurt.
Mm.
But it's an unfair playing field, the tush push. That's my only point on
Sure.
it. The
Yeah.
Eagles are very good at it and it's within the rules, and I'm not saying that.
Mm.
But they can't ban the tush push. They just need to say, hey, 3 guys behind Jalen Hurts, you can't run up and all grab him and shove him into the end.
So your issues with the rules?
The rule. It's
Okay,
the rule.
okay,
It's not with the play. It's incredibly smart by the Eagles.
Yeah.
And also, no one else can do it properly.
Yeah.
Well, the Ravens can.
Ravens do it with Mark Andrews very well, actually.
Yeah.
But as I said, in
Not,
the
I don't think they do it as well as the Eagles do.
No,
No, they
they
can't.
don't.
We'll
But I'm
do a
just
75 yard, a 70% clip.
Yeah. And we saw that although Josh Allen, they didn't get as much on it, they still converted 3 or 4 times doing it.
Mm.
So it's still, and I don't know
Josh
why.
Allen.
No,
Yeah.
not with Josh Allen. They were
Nah.
like 1 of 5, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, were they really?
Yeah, they only like 1
they,
of 5.
They should have been 2 or
But
5, which we'll talk about now.
They don't do it the same way.
No, he runs to the left every time.
yeah,
They-
yeah,
It's
he
almost-
just
he's not a
sneaks.
tush
He runs
push. It's
he
just a
runs
QB
the
sneak.
QB sneak.
It's
It's
a
just a
QB
QB
sneak.
They don't have a good center to do it.
Brock's right.
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
But
I don't have a
the
problem
guys
with
behind him pushing him after.
Yes, I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with the play. I have a problem with the rule that the defense have
Well-
no chance, and they need to give the defense more opportunity to stop this sort of stuff.
As a
That's my only
defender,
point.
I couldn't agree more.
Yep,
couldn't
I'm an
agree
offensive
more.
lineman
Yeah.
that thinks it shouldn't be happening. It's stupid.
It's
right?
rugby. It's legit rugby.
Well,
It's
it
not in
will
the
be,
spirit of the
it will
game,
be
all that
if
sort
you
of
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to have these massive, like, imagine if you have your 2 nose tackles in the A gaps, and then you've got your 2 DNs directly behind them, 2 yards off them,
Smash.
just driving
It
them
will
back.
kill people. It'll kill a center. That's the problem. It'll actually break an
Break
lineman's
someone's neck. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It becomes a safety issue, but
Hence
they
why
won't do it.
Hence why Jason Kelsey hated running it
Mm,
at the end of his
mm,
career, because he would end up on the ground with 2 helmets in his back.
Feet on his back, everything. Like it's,
Yeah.
I just that's my only problem. It's
And
not
you got
the
a
play,
nose
it's the
tackle
rule.
that's literally chopping straight down.
So do you think that
Yeah.
they're going to ban it? What do you think?
I don't think
they're
they should ban the rule. They just need to say to them, you can't assist. They used to have the rule. Remember, you used
Yeah,
to
you
be able
can't
to,
assist
you
the
used to
runner.
be able to grab the runner and pull him
Yep.
forward.
Yep.
They got
The
rid of that
lineman-
because
yep.
the lineman used to run in front and then grab him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then what would happen as they're grabbing them and pulling them forward, all the defenders used to just dive into the legs of the O lineman and snap people's legs and do knees and all that. So they stopped it. Same with the horse collar rule.
Yeah.
It was breaking people. T.O. broke his leg. That's what changed the rule.
Yeah.
Same with the hip drop tackle they
Yep.
got rid of last year because it almost, what did it end? Mark Andrews season.
Mark Andrews season, Lamar Jackson got hurt from it in the
Mm.
same game.
Yeah.
But the issue with the hip drop, yes, they brought in the rule. Do you know they didn't call one hip drop?
No, they
tackle
still
this
don't
year?
call it. I don't think they know what they're looking at.
They didn't call one.
Well, the thing with the
but
hip
they
drop
fined about
is that
15 of them.
All right, we're going to go. I digress. But the issue with the hip drop is that the hitting zone for a defender, because you can't go at the knees anymore in open field,
I'm
and you
completely-
can't go above the shoulders.
Yes.
So what else can a defender do
Oh,
to
no,
get a guy down?
I completely agree. The hip drop tackle, yes, it can be dirty and it can hurt and it can make
Yeah,
injuries.
There's one off case that is dirty, but it's been in the game for 5
It
minutes.
was the same
no-
as the horse collar.
there's
Everyone
no
did
oth-
it because they couldn't hit him in the head anymore.
There's no
Yeah.
other way to actually tackle somebody that's running a 4-4,
Laterally. Yeah.
Yeah.
a 4-4 straight past you.
Yeah.
You can't actually stop them.
And then what are you meant to do as a defender? Just stick one arm out and get your arm popped
That's
out?
what I mean. They
You
need
can't
to
do-
level the playing field.
Yeah.
And I think the NFL will. I think they'll do it with the quarterback slide rule. I think they'll do it with the tush push rule. And it won't be they'll let defenders drive it. They'll just say you can quarterback sneak, which people have been doing for
You're saying
50
they're just
years.
going to get rid of the
But
push
you
Yeah,
game?
you can't come and
push.
drive into the back of him and push him. So
Yeah.
don't put three, because the old quarterback sneak, there wasn't three guys behind him shoving
No.
him. They just literally dove through the legs of the center and
Yeah.
tried to
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
And you do that at your
Or
own
do
risk.
the Drew Brees?
Yeah,
into
yeah,
the-
you
yeah,
do it,
yeah.
and then you do that at your own risk too. With like Josh Allen fumbled and managed to recover it. Still don't know how, but that's what I mean. Like, I just think they got to level the playing field on that because it's not that it's too successful. It's that it's successful because the defense don't have it's a glitch in the rule.
Yes, the defense can't stop it. That's why it's successful.
Yeah, that's my only point on it.
All right, let's get stuck into the next game. Bills Chiefs. Bills 29, Chiefs 32.
Can I just say, thank you for delivering.
Yeah.
What a game!
It's a
Like,
good
I know it sucked. Josh Allen and the Bills lost, but what a game!
Good game.
Good game.
It was awesome to the final seconds. It was an unbelievable game.
Yep.
And let's get the elephant out of the room early. The Josh Allen sneak. I thought it was a first down. I think all of us think it was a first down. Is there anyone that doesn't think it was a first down? That sneak.
I think the issue is with the rule of what's on the field stands.
It's the incompetence of the rule.
The issue was fucking Chris Jones' big ass rig in the
Yeah,
way, and you couldn't get the fucking.
100%.
Yeah, when Chris Jones wasn't making the play, he still managed to stand
Yeah.
in front of the camera and stop the ref from seeing it.
How
The
do
issue
we-
was the spot the play before when
He got the
Kincaid
first down.
got the
Got it.
first, and it was clear
Thank you. That's
And
what I
then-
was going to say.
that like they've you lost 2 yards or a yard and a half, which forced the 4th and 1.
Yes.
And you can't challenge it because if you don't get it, and let's be honest, the refs will often be like, "Oh, we're going with what we call
Yeah.
on the field," so you don't get it, and then you lose a timeout in a game where you need your timeouts,
Yeah.
and you know you need them, right?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And then where the fuck is New York?
Yes.
Like this is what I get. This is what I'm saying. About I'm not saying this is like the Chiefs got off, blah blah. The Chiefs got 2 50-50 calls to go their way, much like the Eagles got a few 50-50 calls to go their way during the season.
It's definitely not a tinfoil hat thing,
No,
but
that's
it's an
what's-
execution of the refs
It's
not
terrible.
using the resources around them to make the correct call.
So basically, the one that
Or
hit
a
the ground,
definitive call.
the catch that was an interception, then a catch, and then because the ref called it, they couldn't see it because the bodies were blocking it.
yeah.
Because he just was like, oh, he caught it when he came up.
I have
then
less of
didn't
an issue
overturn
with
it.
this.
It hit the ground.
But okay, let's
No control, hit the ground, dead ball.
can I just say
No!
Can I
Yes,
just say
of course you can.
why? So if an offensive player has their hands on both outsides of the ball, controls it,
Yep.
and the tip of the ball hits the ground and the ball doesn't move,
Yes.
that's a catch.
Yes.
Yes.
Worthy pinned the ball in.
Mm.
The defender's arm was there. Now, when the ball hit the ground, did the ball move?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
No, it didn't move. It didn't.
Is that the rule? That
Yes.
if the ball doesn't move but hits the ground, it's a catch?
It's
Yes.
control.
Yeah, it's a controlled
Unless
movement.
you're Derwin James in a playoff game for an interception.
Yeah, right.
That's, the rules have changed. Yeah,
The ball moves.
That was
when
this
he-
year.
I know.
The ball moves when he literally rolls over. That's when like the defender is
Yeah.
on the other side.
So,
That's when it pops
what
up and
I'm
lands on.
saying is, like, Worthy had control of the ball. The ball hit the ground. It didn't move.
And then he rolled back.
And then
on
he
his
rolled over and then
Yeah.
maintained control. So I can see why it didn't get overturned.
Yeah, and the same with the Josh Allen one. They couldn't definitively overturn it,
Yeah.
so they didn't. And
And
it's
so
just
they got the aerial shot.
the
And then
aerial shot is out. My point is, like, where's
why
New
can't
York?
they get? Yeah, that's,
Where is
that's
New
the
York
point.
in all this? The play before when Kincaid definitely got the first down,
Yes.
definitely got it.
Yep.
Why isn't New York coming in
Overruling
and
it,
saying,
yeah.
"Hey guys, he got the first down"?
Do you know what my
What are they
biggest
there
issue
for?
is? Like the biggest issue for me is that the NFL, and I'm going to get my tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, get it on,
Like,
boy.
So the
Solid.
NFL
Right,
is so happy to protect their product that they won't show you an angle of the play that
Yeah.
might jeopardize the ref's decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it always happens.
Even Romo was calling him out.
Yeah.
Romo, who
Yeah.
is the Chiefs glazer
And
through and
he's a
through.
bit of a ref fucking.
Yeah, and a ref lover.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He literally was like, "This is ridiculous." Josh Allen clearly got the first down.
Gee.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jim, here we go. The flag on the field.
But on the broadcast, why can't they show a side on view and go, well, they've got 360 cameras in the fucking thing.
Yeah.
They've got all this software. They've got all this fucking shit that they can sort it out straight away.
I thought-
Why can't they get the angle that the refs see that it was definitive not across the line
Yep.
and show the broadcast?
See,
Yeah,
I thought this
agreed.
year they had chips in the football, so they've always had chips in the football
Mm.
to measure where the actual football is.
Oh, I didn't
and
know
the,
that.
and the speed of the
Yeah.
players.
I didn't
Yeah.
know
That's how they
that.
measure it.
They've
Yeah.
always had that. I thought
cool.
this year they were actually going to use that. They were talking about using that to actually mark where the ball is on the
I
field,
think.
but it was going to take away the
But you got-
chain crews.
No,
job.
You got two,
The
you got
issue.
two crusty white guys that need 150 grand a year on the sideline.
No,
Like,
I
that's-
think the issue with that is there's
They're
4
black.
or 5 fields that can't support that technology at the moment.
Oh,
What
So
fields? Name and shame. Probably the
I
Bills.
can't remember.
Probably the Browns. Cincy, you can't fucking
Yeah,
pay.
it's probably the tight ass ones. So because not all of the
so
fields
all
have
of them, I
that
think,
technology, they
That's
can't
a
bring it
fucking
in.
joke.
Do you know
But
that's
can
the
you
rule
not bring
in
it in for the fucking divisional round and the
$25
fucking
billion
conference?
fucking
Yes.
organization can't even give a couple cash outs to the teams that can't do it.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Do you know that's a rule in all sport though? Because I'll put an example in Gridiron Victoria, obviously that we've
Yes.
played in. We wanted one year to have when we got our new stadium, there's like a little
Coach's box.
coach's box upstairs. We wanted to have headsets on the field and have a coach sitting in the coach box to look over the field and then go, hey, they're lining up like this, doing this. They told us we couldn't because the other team didn't have the same opportunity. And we were like, well, no, they can sit in there too. That's fine. We can both sit in there. Oh, some clubs can't afford to buy headsets to do that. Like they're literally $60 from Rebel. But anyway.
But then the
And-
crew, hey, well, we
No,
won't
let's
go-
not get into that. And then
Yeah.
everyone flipped up about it because they were like, well, only the Rangers have that facility. It's like, well, stiff fucking shit.
Mm.
And again, and that's why you couldn't do it. And it's actually like a general rule in a lot of sport, in Aussie rules, all that sort of stuff.
Speaking about this fourth down conversion.
Yeah.
can
Sorry,
I-
I absolutely
I-
derailed us.
No, I like
That's
it. I
good.
like it. This is good. This is good. Because can I offer the counter to that?
Yeah.
This is Josh Allen's fault.
Oh,
No, it's the fucking play calling. The play calling was dreadful for the 3 quarters of this game.
It's on Josh Allen. And I can tell you why.
Why?
Because he's been the Superman of that team all year.
Yeah.
And against the Chiefs during the season,
he was a Superman.
he was a Superman and it was 4th and 2, and you left no fucking doubt.
What
You know-
play did they run though?
Yeah, forget about the
Trey
play call,
Counter.
forget about everything.
That's what I'm
Forget
saying.
about
That's
everything.
why I'm defending Josh because the play call,
He left no doubt.
the fourth down they converted, which he got the touchdown on.
Check
They
into
ran the QB draw.
You're
and it
Josh Allen.
worked.
You're Josh Allen. You're at the line of scrimmage. Check into that play.
You can't, man. You can't
That's-
go against a coach.
No,
like that.
that's cardinal sin of
Yeah.
Call a timeout.
You can't. You
You're
can't.
wasting
George,
timeouts.
you've played before. You know you can't
you know
do that.
You know that. If you've been in a huddle before. If
This
anyone
is
in a huddle said,
game-
"Hey, we're going to change the play," what would have you said?
This
as
is
no
game on the. Hang on a minute. This is game on the line. AFC Championship.
Yep.
You know you can't get the first down with this play if he knew. I'm saying
He might have thought he could. Well, he did. But anyway,
right. All I'm saying is you guys know and everyone knows
Mm.
you can't in Arrowhead against the Chiefs.
Yep.
You can't leave your fate in the hands of anybody else. Certainly not
But-
the fucking other team. Certainly not the fucking refs.
Yeah, I
you
agree.
got to go out there and you got to leave no
so that's
Doubt.
my thing is that's a coaching problem.
Yeah, because the
That's
coach didn't
bad
set him
coaching.
up.
And-
So
and-
I don't think it's the coaching. It's believing the analytics too much. Because if you believe the analytics, that's going to pay off eventually.
No, it was just.
No, because if you look at how many times they convert that same situation,
I'll tell you.
and they
what-
failed
I
two of them in a row.
brought this up before. It is one team playing a really good chess match and using the team's tendencies against them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we
Yeah, I
all
agree
watched
with
the
that.
broadcast.
Yeah, I agree
They
with that.
they put Chris Jones
Yeah, yeah,
on the
yeah.
right side of the line
Yeah, I
in
agree with that.
single
Yep.
coverage because they knew when Allen runs his
You
sneak,
want to go left.
he drifts to the
Yes.
left and then he finds that crease.
So that's good coaching on the Chiefs' part.
So why didn't
and
they
bad
counter it?
coaching on the Bills.
Why didn't they counter it?
But it's the Bills believing the analytics that this will work.
Yeah, which is
Doesn't
bad
matter.
coaching. That's not
Yes.
Josh Allen's fault.
No, but
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's not bad coaching. It's the coaches believing in the analytics too much.
but the
Which you can
analytics.
see as bad coaching. Absolutely. I see that point.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
saying
do
the
think-
analytics are wrong because you're taking the team opposite you have directly influenced what's going to happen.
Yes, I do understand what you're saying.
So,
So I agree with you.
You got to go against your analytics
But,
then.
but you also got to believe that you're going to execute this. That's what they were thinking. They were like, we got the best quarterback in the league.
I
We
get
got
that.
arguably the MVP of the league. We got a Superman cape on. He's going to get it. He's going to get
Well,
it.
he did
He's
it
gonna
last
get it.
time. He did it. He did it last time against the Chiefs.
Not on a sneak though.
No, it was
They
the
spread it
outside
out
zone.
and they said if the throw's not there, run it. And
Yeah.
he ran it.
And it was the outside zone.
And that's how they scored the touchdown earlier in the game
Well,
as well.
yeah.
They got Josh Allen to run it.
Yep.
I'm not, like, there was a better way to call it. It wasn't working. Except they won 1 for 5.
Yeah.
It wasn't working, right?
and
All I'm saying is you can't leave it up to the refs.
The
no,
biggest-
I agree.
100%. And my biggest issue was that James Cook was absolutely shredding Kansas
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
And he didn't touch the ball for a quarter and a half.
Mm.
Yeah. Or not once on a 4th down.
Yeah.
Except for the touchdown he ran in.
Yeah.
Which was one of the best plays you'll
Yeah,
ever
that
see.
was great.
That was
wasn't it?
just
And what was it? It was an outside speed option where Josh Allen, he not only pitched that ball, he knew I got to get this in James Cook's hands at
Yeah.
rapid speed.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can't believe James Cook caught that because he
And that
basically wound
hit-
up and threw it at him.
who had the hit? Was it Bolton that hit Cook and he upended him
Oh, yeah,
and then Cook,
and got his hand down and,
yeah.
they're the plays that
phenomenal play all round from everyone.
I can tell you the reason the Chiefs won this game
Coaching.
was coaching,
it
and,
was.
and there was 2 key moments. the fourth down where they knew what they were going to do 5 times, didn't get it once, and the final play of the game.
The P
Where,
run.
and it was the P run one was outstanding too, but
Yep.
the defensive one,
Oh,
the fourth down,
Spags. Yep.
Spags sets
Blitz
up
the corner.
the double A gap.
Oh,
He knows what did Josh Allen do every single time he was pressured. Where did he roll?
Yeah.
Right side.
right every time.
So he backed the guys off, and they flooded left.
Yep.
And then he blitzed the corner off that side he wanted to roll to. That is coaching at its highest level. And then it was more brilliance because then Josh Allen, even when he was like, "Holy shit," still managed to deliver a catchable throw. Where when that ball left his hands, I'm like, "This is going to get picked off, surely." To Dalton Kincaid, and unfortunately, Dalton Kincaid isn't the same superstar level as Spags and Josh Allen, and
Yeah,
that was the
yeah,
difference.
yeah.
It's not his fault. It was a hard catch. You know who catches that ball? Travis Kelce. He catches that
Yep.
ball.
Agreed.
And it's the difference. And
All-time
that is the
great.
difference in winning Super Bowls and not winning Super
They're the
Bowls.
margins.
And
Paper
Josh
thin.
and Josh
Paper
Allen's got
fucking
it.
thin.
Called it.
Josh Allen's got it, but not enough of his teammates do.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
Apparently, on that play, the release for that blitz was Shakir
Out the left and was
on
open.
the left, but Allen did not have a second to even
No.
get to that side of the
No.
field.
If he'd booted left, he could have ran for it or dumped it off to Shakir for probably like a 30-yard game.
would. Yeah, I was about to say.
Maybe Shakir in open field, maybe a touchdown. Who
Yeah,
knows?
because if you make a guy miss, like who knows? Yeah.
This was a game which we were watching it together.
Yeah.
At one point, we were like watching Josh Allen having like to score and being like, "Oh, he's taking too much time." They were playing defense. And we're like, they've got to let Mahomes take a bit more time off the clock before they kick a
So
field
Josh
goal.
Allen gets a ball with
You're
3
playing
minutes left.
3 drives ahead because
Yeah.
of how good Mahomes and the
Yeah,
Chiefs
yeah,
are.
And Allen.
And Allen, and then,
Yeah.
you literally like, and then again, he threw a catchable ball, hard catchable ball to Kincaid, and he's not at that level yet, or might not ever be. And that's no shade to him. He might not ever be at that
I
level.
don't think you can put it on him.
No,
Chopping
you
the
can't.
ball.
You
I don't
can't
think
because there's only probably 3 or 4 guys in the league that catch that football
Mm.
in that moment with the pressure on him.
A lot of
And there's
pressure.
probably only 3 or 4 quarterbacks that can make that throw with that pressure on them in that
It
moment.
But
wasn't.
shout out to the Chiefs. Their
Yeah.
offensive game plan with all their rubs to get Worthy,
Outstanding.
Oh,
Juju out. They
That's
just
Andy Reid, bro. The
yeah.
guy's a genius.
It was.
Juju just revived his career. Seriously,
I
Juju,
don't know. I
he's
don't
back
know.
again. He's back again.
They'll sign him next year. They're idiots if he doesn't sign him. He should sign with them for whatever they offer him.
Yeah.
That's his career. Just playing for them as their third receiver.
But just
in the
those
slot.
rubs that just like you change the formation to a 3-by-1, create a rub inside, bang. You give Mahomes a first read, guys 5 yards in the open,
Yeah.
yak. Like
Kelce
it
had-
was so good.
If I
It
told
was
you
so
before the game that Travis Kelce would have 2 catches for 15 yards, you
Big
would have been
first
like,
down though. It was a big first down.
There were a couple of good catches.
Yeah.
But if I told you that before the game, you would have said, "Oh, they maybe scored 20 points."
Yeah.
I would have said they might lose.
Yeah, and then if they score 20 points, they probably definitely lose, knowing what we know now. But they probably 20 points is enough to win.
And the Bills probably schemed against him. I didn't dive that deep.
No, they
into
did.
it.
They did.
Yeah,
They knew it. They didn't do what the Texans
They
did.
didn't
Just let
have-
them get wide open all day.
They didn't have rap either, did they?
Yeah, Rap played. They lost their Benford. Their young
Benford
corner
was
early.
big out,
and then
yeah.
Elam came in, and what did Andy Reid do?
Oh, old fucking liability
Just
Elam.
attacked him, and that's what you do when a backup comes in. You attack him.
Of course you do.
Elam and Brock Jones is cut from the same cloth. Absolute liabilities. Liability.
spoke
Only a
about
cod. Only a cod.
I'm
Yeah.
happy my fucking headphones aren't working because I heard my name and I missed out on half of it.
Oh,
No,
We
plug-
spoke about
plug
it in
back
the
properly.
in the
It's
pre.
fucking
We spoke about it in the preview
fucking-
that this game was going to come down to coaching,
Yep.
and it did.
Yep.
It did 100% did.
Yeah.
But
It did.
Reed outcoached Reed and Spags outcoached the
Yeah.
whole Bill
I
side.
just want to touch on that, like that last play as well.
Mm.
It wasn't just they lined up in double A's; they overloaded the
The
left hand
right-
side,
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
left
The
hand
left hand side for Allen. Yeah.
yeah.
They overloaded the shit out of
So
that.
we boot right.
No, not even that. You see him go to the line and change protection
Yeah,
and
that's
slide
right.
everything that way.
That's right.
right guard-
It's chestnut
The
checkers.
right guy legit looked inside and went, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
Turned around and saw the guy chasing him.
He
and
had no one to block.
Went, "Oh shit!"
And
But that's Spags playing
Yeah.
three fucking moves ahead.
all
Incredible.
all the idiots were like, "Oh, that right guy didn't even block anyone. He had the left gap, and he turned at the last second and was like, "Oh god, I got to try and get this guy," and couldn't get there. There was a play earlier in the game, the
Even
touchdown
left
to
tackle
tie.
turns around and goes, "Oh, I got to try
Yeah.
and get there." And goes, "I can't get there."
Yeah.
He's running a 4-4.
I think the touchdown,
Exactly.
not before the half, the touchdown in the second half to go up by a point.
Oh, it's a Max Hollins.
A guy came off.
Yes.
A guy came unblocked off the edge, and
Yep.
the left guard literally like has no one to block. Looks, catches him out of the corner of his eye, sprints backward, dives, and hits the D lineman just as he's about to lay out for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Knocks him around, knocks him over, and then Josh Allen throws a touchdown.
Yeah. Yep.
That is how fine these games are.
Margins, baby.
It's all margins. And you know what? Gruden put it perfectly. This game was lost because when the moment mattered, the Bills couldn't get a yard. They
Yeah.
left it in the hands. Yeah, it was probably over by a quarter of a football. If you leave the margins to a quarter of a football,
I 100%
Yeah.
agree.
you leave it to your own.
I didn't
fate.
see that
Yeah.
clip, but I 100%
Yeah.
agree
And
with
that's what he
Tom
said. He said they needed to get 2 yards on that play. So
Exactly.
the refs were
Leave
like,
no doubt.
there's no doubt.
Yes.
Leave
Yep.
no doubt.
And they didn't.
Yep.
And when the Chiefs had to, when they needed to get a first down to drain the clock and then another
Two
one,
first round.
they didn't get him by like half a yard with a fourth down sneak.
They got 14 yards.
They got him by
Yeah,
getting
like
him
at,
with,
at the end to like close the game.
and
out.
that's where the Bills need to take that thing. They carved them up on plays all day, and then when they got to 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1,
stiffened
they
up.
went back to like a stupid spread them out and let Josh Allen throw it.
Or
He's
run
that good.
James Cook.
Something different.
Just
Like
Cook,
Cook,
man.
like I said it
I
before, Cook was just absolutely on fire.
And
Takes
there's
you
no
down.
one to blame for it. It was
Dana
a
White
great
says
football
this
game.
all the time. If you don't want to lose,
If you don't want to lose, don't
Lose-
snort coke and punch your wife.
no. If you don't want to lose, don't take a close fight to the judges.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
End the fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
End the fight.
Yeah. And they did that earlier in the
The
year.
Bills ended the fight early in the year.
Yeah, 100%.
When you play the Chiefs, the playoff Chiefs, an absolute dynasty right now,
Mhm.
Yep.
you can't let this go to the judges. You have to win by 8-9 points.
Yep.
Like it happens in NBA. If you want to win on the road in the playoffs, you can't win by 15.
Just have Luca.
if,
It's
you want,
easy.
if you want to win by 2,
Great
you
white
got to
hope.
win by 15.
yeah, because that gap gets closed like that.
If
Yeah.
you want
100%.
to, if you want to win by 2, you win by 15.
Yeah.
That's how things happen.
But thank you to the Bills and the Chiefs for
Okay.
delivering.
Yeah.
Great game.
And the Bills and the
That's-
Ravens.
that's
AFC
and the Bills and
playoffs
Ravens
have
are a
been
great game.
fantastic.
Those two games, the divisional round Bills and Ravens, and in this game, are probably going to be the two best games of the season.
No, well, Chiefs Eagles should be an absolute
Oh, I
rip
think
snorter
so
as well.
too.
It should be an absolute rip snorter.
we'll preview that next week. But
Yeah.
I think we've been very lucky. They were two really good football games,
Yeah.
and it sucks for Josh Allen.
Can't wait for my
I
t-shirt
just
to
wanted
arrive.
to hold him in my arms and tell him it's all right. And if you're a Bills fan, don't stress. Your window is open as long as Josh Allen is your
And just
quarterback.
shout out to the Bills fans that, like I'm seeing in the clips, that they're like, fucking burn it down. Fuck the coach.
Why?
Fuck this.
You got Josh Allen.
Like,
Never
well,
burn anything
take
down.
a step back because there's 25 other teams that would love
Yes.
to be in an AFC championship
Well, that's
game.
what I said in the preview. Like, if your team makes a championship game, look, the season's a success. Whatever.
Do you
happens from there,
reckon
it
the
doesn't matter.
Raiders
Agree.
would care if you lost an AFC championship game by 3 points?
They'd be begging for it.
Like,
Begging for it.
the
They'd be begging
chance-
for a chance
the
to play a
chance
7
to-
seed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding? Like,
Agreed.
As
you
a
got to
Ravens
watch
fan,
great football.
I would love to lose. Like I wouldn't love to lose it, but I would love to be in that game. And if we lost that way, we lose that way.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
100%. You want to have a chance.
You're one of the last 4 teams left. Like,
And at
anyone
least it
wants that
wasn't the
chance.
refs.
Even-
Like, they didn't ruin it. It was
Even Josh said, like
Allen had a chance.
to beat the champ, to be the champs, you got to beat the champs.
Very true.
And they
And
fell
especially
short.
in the AFC, you have to beat the champs because they're always going to be there.
Yep.
They're not going to have a shit year and miss the playoffs. They're going to be there.
Too well coached.
But
They're
bring
not
on the
too well
Bills.
coached.
Like Josh Allen's going nowhere. That team's going to be in the. If he keeps playing the way he's
Well,
played this year, it's not going anywhere.
Imagine being in the AFC championship game in a position where you should/can win on your reload year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They
on your
literally
reload,
reloaded
yeah.
it
It was,
this year.
meant to, it was meant to be just a manager
Yeah.
get a wild card
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. They've got plenty of. They're getting a lot of salary cap in the offseason.
Yeah.
Mac from last year, they'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah.
They got rid of the team cancers and Stephon Diggs. They've got a bright
Yeah,
future.
And like Pryor and stuff like that. They were,
Yeah.
you know,
I think it's Poyer, the safety.
Oh, Poyer, yeah.
They got younger. Like Hamlin's a great story. There's so many. Like if you're a Bills fan, don't stress. You got Josh Allen. You got a chance.
Perfect.
You'll eventually get it.
And like the AFC East, they're not setting the world on fire. So
No, can I have one more point before we go to some coaching stuff?
yes,
I just want to say, and we'll preview this more on the Super Bowl preview. Andy Reid. This is why the NFL is the greatest sport in the world, and it's almost
Great
reality
reality
TV.
show.
The Andy Reid, who was fired by the Eagles for not being able to win a Super Bowl, is now going for a chance to be the first coach in the NFL history to three-peat against the team that fired him
twice.
for not being able
Yeah.
to be.
and he's already
to
won
win a
one
Super
of
Bowl.
them.
Yeah, yeah,
against the
And
Eagles.
do you know the last chance a team had to win to beat three-peat a Super Bowl?
Was it like in the 50s?
No, it was the New England Patriots. And you know who beat them?
Oh,
Stop the three-peat? The
Manning.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Philly special.
They were going for 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So like this is what I mean. It's the best reality TV in the world. If you don't love playoff football, you don't like anything. I swear. And if you can't enjoy the Chiefs and appreciate the greatness,
Absolutely
I feel
enjoy it.
much like when Brady went to the Bucks and won it. If you can't appreciate the greatness, you don't deserve it.
Because the worst part is you don't want to still be a fan of the sport in 7 to 10 years' time. You're like, I don't know why I hated the Chiefs.
Exactly right.
Like they won 3 in a row. That is
Yep.
fantastic.
I-
And I was just sitting there being salty in the corner in my
Yeah.
little cuck chair. Like, Like,
I got the
appreciate greatness when it's in front of you.
I got the perfect tweet to let me find it.
Ooh.
The tweeter. Was it a tweeter or a tweeter, a birdie, or an X?
Here we go. It's someone. I'm not going to shout him out. No free plugs. It is. I think the reason we're seeing so much hate for KC and Patrick Mahomes is they never truly dominate anyone. Brady's Patriots would have you down by 30 before the anthem was over, and you had to respect the dominance. Kansas City lets every team hang around, and then a bad ref call, insane Mahomes play, or self-inflicted mistakes later, they're knocking at the door of a third straight Super Bowl. This team went life and death with the Raiders 2 different times yet. Are the AFC favorites? I can get behind dominance, but I don't like the black magic.
That's only this year though, because they were the greatest offense ever.
No.
Fucking 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, and remember last year they were the 3 seed last year. They had to win a bunch of games down the stretch because they struggled.
Yeah.
So and then again, Andy
But
Reid just keeps doing it with different dudes.
That's what I'm saying. They
Different cattle.
don't really dominate
No,
teams.
they just do a job.
They get the job done.
Yep.
Andy Reid's a gun,
Swifty
bro.
magic.
Swifty magic. All right, before we get out of here, we're going to do a quick recap of the coaches
Because other things have been happening in the NFL
a quick
outside of
wildfire. So a quick-
just playoff
Quick
football.
rapid fire. Let's start with our boy Vrabel goes home to New England. This is obviously a couple of weeks ago. We just haven't had a chance to talk about it.
Amazing signing.
I think we all knew it was coming.
Yep.
Our boy OJ Mayo got absolutely railed out, and we knew why it was coming. It's a great move. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's still a good move.
You don't want to be the guy that was behind the guy.
No.
You want to be the
new
guy that was behind the guy that was behind the guy.
Yeah,
So
They still get their draft pick as well for hiring a minority coach as well. So smart by the Patriots.
What's
well, there you go.
Oh, Mayo.
Four,
Mayo.
yeah, 40 chess.
So you can actually get a draft.
They'll
pick.
probably
Yeah,
lose.
if you don't hire if you don't interview a
So
black
next
coach
year's second
with the
rounder.
with the Rooney rule. I think it's a second or third. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you lose a draft. pick
No,
if you don't
yeah.
draft.
If you don't interview a black or minority coach,
Mm.
you lose a draft
You can
pick.
just say minority for all of them.
Black. But if you do hire one, you get an extra one.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez.
Yep. So they
What
got
a
that.
world. What a world. 2025.
Great signing. They got their quarterback and Snake Boy's back as OC as well.
They got two. Oh, don't start me on Snake. I wish him nothing but not success.
I think he's going to be good there.
Yeah, he
I
was
want my boy to be good. I called May so early, so I'm really
Drake
yeah.
May, I'm on the train.
And,
He's going to be good.
and they're probably going to be able to trade Milton for something good too.
Probably get,
Nah.
a,
The hype
Nah.
around
probably
it.
get a third rounder for him.
yeah,
they will,
maybe
yeah.
third or fourth.
It's
yeah.
still something.
Your Cowboys.
Cowboys hire Brian Scott.
What do you think about this?
On.
Honestly,
Talking
what do
about a
you
cuck.
think about this?
Do you want my take?
Yes, please.
I'm not going to target the man. Like I'm not going to target Schottenheimer. He's had some failures. He's had his successes in the past. He's an NFL coach. My whole problem with this, because Dan Quinn was berated last year for the hire, and it worked out pretty well, right? So he might end up being a good coach. He might not. Chances are he won't. My problem is you drag out the Mike McCarthy bullshit for a week. You have 3 days of meetings with him. You start late. You should have fired him 2 weeks before the season ended or the day the season ended.
Yep.
And got going on the
Black Monday.
coaches and just, got going on them, right? They didn't do that, which then they left themselves behind the 8 ball. They interviewed 4 guys. One was Leslie Fraser. One was Callan Moore over the phone, as if Callan Moore's coming back after you literally failed him and blamed him for all your problems. What is the process that these guys are actually doing? And that's my problem with Jerry. He has there's no process or culture for what we're trying to do here. Like, I don't get it. I don't see the direction. They've got plenty of talent. They can turn it around, but then you hire your OC who doesn't even call plays for you.
Weird call.
It's just it's bizarre. It's like no one was left, so we got to get someone.
No one was in on the process. It was just Jerry doing it on his own.
Stupidity.
I don't
That's the
mind
problem.
Schottenheimer. Like,
I'm not
as I
sliding
said,
the
as a
man. I'm
Seattle
not
guy-
sliding. It might work out.
yeah, as a Seattle guy, he had that offense that was like almost MVP Russ.
When Pete Carroll was hired, everyone laughed.
Yeah.
And won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And went to 2.
Change the whole
Which
culture.
he could have easily won 2 if it played out
Yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
if it
Like, that's
does,
what I mean. And
yeah.
he was one of the coach of one of the best defenses in the history of football,
Yeah.
the Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
That was all Pete Carroll. He didn't draft his guy Taylor Mays out of USC. He drafted Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
Everyone laughed at that hire. Everyone laughed at Dan Quinn, including me last year. I'm not hating the man because I want to give him the opportunity to do what he can do. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But the process and the way they go about things, it's Jaguars bullshit. And this is where the Cowboys, they're a proud organization and they've got away. I don't know where it's all gone so wrong. It's just fallen off. Keep Mike McCarthy and let him be your OC.
Do you
That's the
think? Do
alternative.
you think Jerry dragged his heels on the McCarthy shit to try and fuck him on the back end so he couldn't get another job?
No, I think he's just incompetent.
Yeah.
Hire Dion, for God's sake. That would have been more fun.
Oh no, it wouldn't have.
I think Schottenheimer's a better proven coach than Dion. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the whole process for me. That's
Yeah,
all
the
I'm going to
process
say.
is pretty.
Talk about
it's
it.
a lot of questions. there.
Dismal.
Talking about a proven coach, Pete Carroll to the Raiders. I'm a big fan of this one.
Same. I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
think it's
That's
good.
that's a culture hire.
I love it.
He's already announced his 3 rules, and like if you want to go look them up, Pat McAfee spoke about them for 8 minutes today. Fantastic rules.
What's the brief rundown, please, Brock?
Don't be late.
Yep.
Look after your team.
Yep.
And
Is it treat them with respect?
no, it's not. I think
Compete.
I think it's compete. I think the
Something
first,
around those.
first one is
values.
no one's bigger than a team. If you see your mate in trouble, or you're going to be in trouble if you're like one of the teammates gets in trouble, help them,
Nice.
protect them, don't
Yep.
let them get hurt.
Yep.
Which the Raiders need that.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's
There'll
call,
be
call them
some-
out on bullshit.
There'll be some cuts at the Raiders.
Yeah.
I
Basically,
promise.
So he's basically the antithesis of last year. Who was the coach last year? Okay.
Pierce.
Pierce.
yeah.
Pierce.
Yep.
No,
Basically
you
the
mean-
opposite of that.
You mean the worst rated coach on my coach's disaster
Coach's
scale,
scale.
who I called would be fired by
Hey.
the end of the season.
The a-hole.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that's a
guys.
great
it's
hire.
good. It's the first step to develop a program, and I've seen it firsthand.
Yep.
Like Seattle had a lot of bad coaches, had Jim Mora and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like before Pete Carroll, I've seen the process. I've seen how it works. Sure, he's a bit older, but
Hang on a
players fucking love him.
Players guy.
Players love him.
Look, you said a bit older, but look who else is coaching in that division. Jim Harbaugh,
Well,
Andy
that's the
Reid?
funny thing.
Andy Reid, Sean Payton.
Yeah.
All older,
Some old dogs.
proven, experienced, hard-nosed
But
coaches.
he's older than them.
Okay, fine, but they're all cut from the same cloth. They're
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
same thing.
Yeah.
Have they they've
essentially?
all won a Super Bowl but Harbour?
Yes. Yeah, the 49ers didn't win one.
Peyton, he's been to 2, but you didn't win
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Did you see all the
Pretty
things
good
where
pedigree in that.
So
in
that's
that
what I'm
division.
saying. Like, think about it. They're all like, and they've got to get someone like Carroll just to compete with those guys.
Yeah,
Like,
agreed.
you know what I'm
You
saying?
can't have
Like,
Antonio Pierce slapping his gums on podcasts in the pre. Like,
I'll tell
you reckon
you
Pete
who's-
Carroll's going to go on a podcast with Max
not
Crosby?
a fucking chance.
He'll be more likely
Do
to
you
go, hey,
think-
Max, get rid of your
do you-
podcast or
yeah,
you're
that's what I was
done.
about to say.
100%.
It'll be sink or swim for Max Crosby. He'll either be on that team by preseason and have a great year and flourish, or he will not be on that team. It's
Yep.
it's one or the
And
other.
I think
I
Pete,
reckon he's on the
I think
trade block.
Pete Carroll may have learned his lesson with the whole Russ thing that slowly leaked out. And also, shout out to him because there was animosity for a long time.
Mhm.
And we only got drip fed a few little things 6 years after the fact. So you know he runs a tight ship.
Yep.
Yep. Agreed.
Um,
Yeah, I like that home. The Raiders
so-
need a culture shock.
Yeah.
Three rules: protect the team, be mindful of your teammates on and off the field. Number 2 is no whining, no complaining, no excuses. If
Love
it's
it.
raining, Carroll doesn't want you to hear about your gripes. And number 3, be early.
Love
Yeah.
it. Shout out to Pete
100%.
Carroll.
Yeah, so be early. That sounds simple, but it's a sign of respect.
Look, that's the thing. Some of these players actually have to respect the position they're in life,
Mm.
and they're blessed and they've earned it. I'm not saying that, but you don't get to the NFL and then you're like, tick, I've done everything.
Take it for
I can
granted
start
kind
being
of
an
thing,
asshole
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Well, if
That's
you
not how it
do,
works. You should
you're only
keep
going to be there for 2 years.
100%. You need to start striving. You need to, when you get to the NFL, and Tom Brady said this, when you get to the NFL, you need to step it up another notch and work even harder.
Pat
Harder than you've ever worked.
Pat McAfee said, like one of his coaches at West Virginia, it was a 10-minute rule. Yeah, meetings at 4, you have to be there in there 10 minutes beforehand because if he walks in 10 minutes before, the meeting starts when he walks in.
Yeah.
He could
That's
walk in
so
at 4
good.
on the dot, we could walk in at 3:50. The meeting starts when he walks in there.
Now,
Mm.
That
let's
is
be
so
honest,
good.
these-
You have to be there.
These dudes aren't doing anything
3:49.
else. They eat, train, everything at the facility.
Yeah,
they got no. It's not like they're stuck in traffic. Like they're all
Well,
there.
And they also don't call team meetings when they have days where they have to do their off stuff. You know, the kids' hospitals.
Yeah, like
they
they
don't
know
have,
when
they
they
don't
have to
have
be,
team
yeah.
meetings those days.
No, 100%.
So
Uh,
anyway, we all agree.
that those rules is like a statement. That's a
Yes.
statement.
Agree.
I love it.
Let's get to the Jetty Jets. They land the dog, Aaron Glenn.
I, like
I
this
loved his press conference. So
I hated
much.
it.
Why? Why'd you
It's-
hate it?
It reminds me too much of every other press conference where the head coach comes out, there's going to be changes. Like,
No, but this guy's
Pretty
like,
legit.
yeah,
He's been through it.
prove it first.
he has.
That-
He's
for
got
me-
the track record.
For me, prove it first.
So what's he got to wait 2 years to be good and then come out and start saying, "Hey, I'll change the culture"?
No, just prove it.
You
Just-
got to start somewhere. You got to
Cul-
change the culture. from the
culture doesn't
start.
change at a press conference, though.
No,
No,
but
no,
you've got to set the
culture-
tone for
Can
what
I
he's
just
gonna
say
be.
one thing about Glenn? He started at the absolute bottom in
Scout.
the organization.
I get
So
that.
After being a
he's
great
worked-
player.
And so he's worked from the bottom all the way up.
I get-
He's
yeah.
learned all the little like ins and outs of every part of an organization. You think that he doesn't bring this fucking 10-year book of the process and then be part of a culture-changing team.
It felt too cringy for me, is what I don't like.
Oh, they're all cringy.
That's
You can
why I
watch.
didn't
You
like
can
it.
watch almost any football clip
Because they're
cringy.
severely autistic.
Yes.
I loved it.
Shout out to
Yeah, I
you.
think it's a great sign.
Yeah.
And you know what? If he can't work out at the Jets after Salah, because Salah was a similar guy,
And
Yeah.
a good coach.
It's a
He was a good
Jets
coach.
problem. It's
Yeah.
a Jets problem.
Well, it's an owner problem.
Yes. Yep. It's from the top.
That's what I was
It's
gonna
from the
say.
top of
It's
the
a-
ivory tower.
It's an ownership problem.
And
Yeah.
they're just a fucking perennial losing franchise.
It's
Yeah.
because it's an ownership thing, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like you look at all the shit teams in the NFL, they're all got shit owners, and all the good teams have good owners.
They've got owners that want to run everything.
Or they've got an owner where GM, they go, you run this shit. If you need something, let me know.
Correct.
Yes. They're
Is,
good owners.
is the OC going to cost us fucking 3.2 million? We will talk about it then. But you tell me if he's worth getting for that price.
Yeah.
Is he worth the money? Here, boom.
If you tell me, you got it.
Yeah.
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 I agree. All right. Let's get the Jags.
Duval.
I actually wish I'd saved the clip. Liam Cohen. First of all, big dog. You've had some great success at the Bucks. I appreciate it. I don't hate the hiring, but
You're not a hype man.
one, buy a suit that fits you.
Yeah, what was
Don't
that
go
about?
get it from your dad's closet like you've got a last minute funeral and you need to get it sorted out.
He's got the
Like-
money. He's got the money for a suit, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's atrocious. Like his suit does not fit him. His head looks like it's the tiniest head in the world.
Go to Peter Jackson,
He
bro.
look-
2 suits for $900.
He looks like Wreck-It Ralph. Like just buy a suit.
Do you
that
know what he
fit you.
reminded me of? You know, like the early 2000s when like all the basketball players and all the
Yes.
NFL players
Yeah.
had the oversized suit and it was like the
Yes.
cool thing.
shoulder pads and shit. Yeah.
That's
Couldn't agree
what
more.
he looked like. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was bad. And then saying
Dressed
Duval,
like Brock Wellington.
if you're not a dupe. Oh,
Whoa.
Hey, we're an hour into this. I'm going to
Hey,
start taking some
no,
shots.
you know what? Harsh, but very
But
fair.
accurate, yeah.
And if anyone agreed with us, it'd be Brock Wellington.
Shout out to Brock. I love you,
Love
Brock.
you, Brocky. No, I just think, and then when he said Duval, don't say it.
Yeah.
Just don't say it.
Yeah.
Just what he said before that was like, I need to learn how the community and we need to build this all together and bring this back to a great franchise. You don't need to say Duval like he looks like the pedophiles at the skate rink. Like he's a it
what
was
even?
weird.
What even is that?
I actually don't know what Duval is.
the county where Jacksonville is located.
Okay.
It's the county where Jacksonville's located in.
one
Brock's
big
saying.
county that's all located.
Right.
So Jacksonville Beach and everything.
He's in
one
Duval County. Okay.
Yeah, he's doing. Brock's just doing some God's work on the computer
Shout
to
out,
get us the video up. But yeah, I just think it was a bad press conference. But I also don't. I think he'll be. A
I
good
think he'll be
coach.
an all right coach too.
Hey,
I have faith.
You
Yeah.
turn Baker around. Would we say Trevor
And
Lawrence
Canales.
is more talented than Baker?
You would say that he's more talented.
I think
yes.
the interesting thing with this is that the Khans got rid of
The GM.
the GM.
'Cause- no, so Ben Johnson said.
was it bulky? Bulky?
Yeah, Bokey.
Yes.
Bokey,
So,
yeah.
so Ben Johnson said, "You have to fire the GM if you want to be
Yeah,
the coach." What did the Bears do? Didn't fire their GM. Jags said you have to fire your GM. Didn't fire the GM. Ben Johnson left and they fired him after.
Fine, yeah.
I get that. Yeah, get it. I get this clip up, Brocky. This is vintage. This is what he'll be. He could be the best coach in the history of the NFL, and this is what they'll play for the rest of his life. Yeah, here we can.
Yeah, that was awful, wasn't it?
Unbearable. Just don't say it. Don't say it. And then get a suit that fits you, and don't say it.
Mm.
Or God forbid, wear a polo, bro. Like no one's like. Yeah, look at his headphones on. That's right. Ex-Canadian big dog. LeBron's going off. Scotty's gonna have a meltdown. All right, let's get to the
Zach.
last one. Chicago land Ben Johnson. Of all the things the Chicago Bears could have done in the offseason, I think it's the first step in going in the right direction.
Yeah, when I saw the news come up on my phone, I was like, hallelujah.
Well, you've got the
Even if-
quarterback, and you've now landed him an OC with proven success as an OC.
Mm.
What more do
Even
you
if
want to
he's
do?
not a good head coach, he was the coveted head coach that everyone wanted.
Everyone wanted him. Yeah.
And
and
they
you
got him.
landed that guy. So
In division.
in division. Yeah.
Like, they
That's huge
stole
as
him
well.
from
Yeah,
the
that's
Lions.
huge. But you got the main guy that 6 other teams wanted.
He was definitely the Marlon of this coaching cycle.
Yeah.
that's for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
And they landed him because of Caleb Williams. Apparently, had a meeting with Caleb Williams, and he was like, "I'm in."
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what got it. He was in, and then they were like,
They had their nails together.
he was
and
like,
shit
"Yeah, I
that, or-
guess so." They did some
Just super
tic-tac-toe.
zesty with each
Dude
other.
can ball.
Yeah.
Come on.
He doesn't,
The
he doesn't know
dude
his
can
left and
ball.
right.
I didn't, say,
I
I didn't
thought-
say he's not a good player. I said he's super zesty. That's all I said.
He's zesty. We called him zesty all the time, and now the zest it's come around. We love the
Yeah.
zest.
I was always hunting music.
Well, for the
I'm not
best.
possessed.
Hey, that's
Hey,
real.
George has got his line in the sand and he's saying on it. That's fine.
That's real toxic
Stand on
masculinity of
That's
you.
fine. Self-awareness, remember?
Self-awareness is the greatest trait you can have in your life. No, that's it for the coaches. We're going to do a quick wrap up of it because we hadn't had a chance. Next Tuesday, we'll do our Super Bowl preview. Go in
Are we
depth.
going to do the awards?
No, we haven't had time. Super Bowl preview. The awards will be for the after the Super Bowl.
Cool.
We'll do the awards after.
Two
We-
after the Super Bowl.
yeah, we do our awards post-season.
We'll do a
Right
recap
way.
and then we'll do our awards
Love it.
after that.
Yeah. So
Love
we'll do the Super Bowl preview next week. We'll do Red Cup betting before the Super Bowl, which will just talk about a bunch of gambling stuff,
prop
which will be a
bets
bit
and
of
stuff,
fun
yeah.
with our boy Davey. We couldn't get the Red Cup betting worked out for this Sunday because we were
was
doing
away.
our live show and Dave was away. So we just thought we'd just do our live
Brock
show.
also didn't message him.
That's fair.
He did lose a bet.
Yeah.
Lost a bet. He actually paid up on his bet this time, George.
Wow.
Yeah, paid up on his bet. He's a changed man.
Wow. That's a huge character arc for him.
Did you just say, yo?
Yo.
That's a very in joke. So that's a plan for the next couple of weeks. Guys, mark our words. We've got some big things planned for the off-season too.
Ooh, yeah.
Like we're not slowing down. We had a few weeks off last year. Not this year. We'll be straight into it. We're loving what we're doing, and we thoroughly enjoy everyone who's tuning in. Everyone watching the clips.
I just
everything
love
like that.
being with the boys.
That's what life's about, isn't it?
Amen.
A quick escape from your serious life to come and talk ball with your
Talk
mates.
ball with the boys.
I don't know
love
what
it.
more you want in life. But shout out for everyone tuning in. Next Tuesday, podcast as normal. Scotty, thanks for being super sub.
No
Super,
worries.
super
Thanks for
sub
having me.
playoff, Scotty. Peace out. Peace out, everyone.
Peace out.
Thank you.
I hope the Eagles lose on a call.